guys, I'm here to give you guys my January wrap up. It was so-so. I got off to a pretty good start and then I petered off towards the end because of more life adventures, because literally at some point after this is all over, maybe Michaela and I will like sit down and tell you guys what has been happening, but in the meantime just know that it's like actual serious like need to make sure we keep living kind of issues, and make sure we continue to be housed. So it's nothing, unfortunately, that we really could have changed. There's been a lot of outside things happening, but it just keeps making every month harder than it needs to be. Not great at reading as I wanted it to be. But I did read 5 books, and all of them counted for my PopSugar challenge, which is really awesome. So we'll just get right into it. So the first book that I read in 2017 actually is A Monster Calls by Patrick Ness. This is Michaela's copy, of course. And I read it originally because Michaela and I were gonna go see the movie. That didn't end up happening because, again, life things got in the way, but I did read this for my PopSugar challenge. It's a book with pictures as well. I read it in about a night. I'm not a fan of sad stories, especially ones that involve cancer. It hits too close to home and they make me sad. So I read it in a night, finished it. Probably won't be doing a review of it, but it was good. I think I gave it like 4 stars because it did make me feel things. I was just a little bit more bored than I expected to be, honestly. The story within a story motif doesn't really work with me except for in very specific circumstances. So yeah, it was good, it was beautiful, but I mean, like I read it in a sitting and I probably wouldn't read it again. The second book that I finished, I did indeed do a review of, and that is Catherine the Great, A Portrait of a Woman by Robert K. Massey. This is one of the 2 nonfiction historical audiobooks that I finished in January. And I did do a whole big review on this, and so if you're wondering my overall opinions, it was a 625-page monster of a book. It was a slog to go through on audio, even going a little bit faster. But it was very detailed, very good. It waited until the halfway point to even get to her being crowned Empress of Russia, which is really awesome. And I went away from it thinking that I had learned a lot. I had some issues with it, and you can check out my review for more of those, but at the end of the day, as someone who was looking to learn more about Catherine the Great as a woman and as a ruler, I feel like that book accomplished it at the end of the day. So glad that I did, you know, get all the way to the end and put up with that crazy, huge book. Catherine the Great, Portrait of a Woman, by the way, is my PopSugar pick for a book about an interesting woman. So that's what happened there. For a definitely not as long biography, I have the autobiography of Anna Kendrick, Scrappy Little Nobody. I finished this super fast. I kind of wish that I'd had the audiobook, if we're being honest, because I feel like it would have come through even greater with her personality and the jokes and everything, but even just in written form, I felt Anna Kendrick coming off the page. It was funny, it was cute, it wasn't very substantive, and I don't know how substantive you would think a book written by someone of Anna Kendrick's age would really be. You know, she's kind of still in the middle of her journey, as we all really are, but she just kind of goes, yeah, I kind of had like a pretty lucky life and some crazy things happened to me, and you know, here's my tenacity and the way that I've tried to deal with fame and stuff. So I feel like if you love Anna Kendrick, you will love this book. Otherwise, I'm not really sure what you would get out of it. There are no serious life lessons or anything that I took away, but I'm really glad that I read it. It was a fun read, it was a quick read, and I am using it for my PopSugar challenge of a book about a person whom you admire, because I do admire Anna Kendrick. I think she's very talented and I love her a lot, and she's very funny, and I have loved everything I've ever seen her in except Twilight, but that doesn't really count because she wasn't really there. So yeah, glad I read that one. The 4th book that I finished in January was The Magician's Land by Lev Grossman. If you are kind of new to the channel, then you might not know that every year for the past 3 years we have opened the Bibliomancer Beginner season with one of the books in this trilogy, because We all hate them so much, but we tend to have very good hangouts where these books are concerned. And this is book 3 of the trilogy. We made it to the end. I don't have to read another one of these books ever again, and Bibliomancy for Beginners can start off next year not reading one of these. So I will link, as always, to the hour-long book club up above. But basically, this book felt like a waste of my time. I could have been reading something with substance. I could have been reading something with a plot. I could have been reading something with characters I don't hate. And I didn't. I read this instead. So yeah, do watch that hangout. It's really good. We all did hate this one, I think, potentially the most out of any of them. So, you know, if you like rage and anger and laughter of sadness, then our book club is for you. Actually, at any time, not just this hangout, but you know, it's a good one. You should watch that. I also use this book as my PopSugar pick for a book involving a mythical creature. So thanks for being useful for that, I guess. I'm gonna have to read the title of the last book that I finished in January off my phone because it's kind of long. And it is The Woman Who Would Be King, Hatshepsut's Rise to Power in Ancient Egypt by Kara Cooney. There, got all the words out. If you don't know, I'm a huge Egyptian buff. When I was a kid, I really wanted to be an Egyptologist, and I had like the whole Egyptology book, and I would read these adult non-fiction books on kings and queens. And when I was looking for a new audiobook after I finished Catherine the Great, this one popped out at me for a bunch of reasons. It's kind of recent. It's about Hatshepsut, and I really like how Kara Cooney opened it, which was to say, like, Hatshepsut's actually a really amazing female ruler from like the entirety of the ancient world, not just Egypt. But because nothing went wrong in her reign, because she reigned so effectively, nobody talks about her. And they talk about like Cleopatra because of all the crazy things with like her lovers, and you know, the fact that she brought down basically the pharaohs of Egypt, and you know, Egypt was taken over by Rome. And we talk about, you know, female rulers who screw up, but Hatshepsut was like great at her job, and she did amazing, and nothing got screwed up, and she, you know, did a bunch of things, but we don't know a lot about her because her successor was like, ugh, I was co-regent with a woman and destroyed a bunch of stuff related to her. So it's like this twofold really great look at a really powerful, effective, and great ruler of the ancient world. I had my issues with it. I thought that there was a lot of use of conjecture, which is important in history that goes back this far. Like, we don't know a lot, and Kara Cooney did have to do that. But it was this real weird mix of like historical fiction versus hard fact and citation, and it really, like, the mix didn't really jive for me all of the time. So that was kind of weird, but I'm really glad that I read it. It was very recent work, and very detailed, and clearly Kara Cooney like loves the life of Hatshepsut and has done her research. So the Egypt buff in me was very happy, if the reading experience was a bit weird. So glad that I did that. I also use this book as my pick for a book where the main character is a different ethnicity than you. Because Hatshepsut was Egyptian, and I am not. I don't know if you know this. It's a very big shock, I know. But yeah. So those are the 5 books that I read in January. I have yet to read a single thing in February, mostly because I'm still trying to get through The Name of the Wind. When you're listening to The Name of the Wind on audio at a regular speed, because you don't want to zoom through it, it takes a while. It takes a really long while, and I'm enjoying the reading experience, and I don't want to speed it up because I'm enjoying the real feel of, you know, Kvothe telling me this story, but like, it's taken a while. So hopefully my reading will speed up exponentially once I actually get to the end of The Name of the Wind, which maybe is soon. I don't know. We'll see. Then I have to read Wise Man's Fear. Well, maybe you'll get that in a wrap up in November. So all in all, to wrap it up, 5 books read, 5 PopSugar challenges completed, and again, at some point, you know, maybe Michaela and I will let you know everything that's been happening in our lives, but as we're in the middle of it, please bear with us as we just cry a lot and try and continue living with a roof over our head where the walls don't collapse. That would be cool. And you think we're joking. We're not. So yeah, hope that your 2017 has gotten off to a great start, and we'll see you soon. Bye!